So yesterday I was listening to this guy. What was his name again? I can't even remember his name. I just looked it up before I came to make this video. But anyways, it's on the subject of like what's called the astral body. He refers to it, which is like our true body. That, you know, how basically our true body is in the astral, as our astral body, and this is like this existence here is like kind of an illusion. There's like it's based on quantum physics. How, you know, matter is not really real. That only our consciousness creates it, is the idea. So like, but the thing is we have our pineal gland is huge. It's what we use to connect this body to our astral body. Is through our pineal gland, and basically when we go out of consciousness in this world, we seek to go into. But the problem is that our whole existence in this world is like a trap. You know, I've gone into this in some of my other videos, but this he kind of explains it. How, you know, how these energy suckers and shit, you know, they feed off our energy, negative energy and stuff. He doesn't really go into that, but basically how the pineal gland is being, you know, calcified by everything in all our food and our minerals and, you know, water and stuff is. And he showed pictures of like X-rays of people. You could see that their pineal gland had been totally calcified, so it basically cuts you off from your astral body, because you can't. It's really interesting how he talks about inside the pineal gland is like there's like these crystals that basically are like give you vision, and it's connected right into your visual cortex, so that, you know, light can come through from the astral plane, which is like the knowingness or whatever he calls it, you know, the plane of knowledge that we truly exist in, and all knowledge is there from everybody. It's a big collective mind, kind of, and there's all kinds of examples of people coming up with the same ideas at the same time, because they're basically tapping into this astral energy field of knowledge through the pineal gland. And the world that we live in, where the powers that be they try to keep us hidden from that and cut off from it. But basically, when you can tap into all that information and it comes into your mind through your pineal gland, and it takes all that, and it's got like a spectrum inside it and color, and it actually creates like almost like a computer simulating the image with actual color. That's why you have such vivid dreams and ideas come to you, and you can like visualize it and stuff. It's because this is what he's going into, how that pineal gland is the mind's eye, and it's connected to a whole. But basically, what I would call it you could call it the true internet of the ether. You might call it. He has his own term for it. Man, it's so what I've been getting into. He had a really good way of explaining it. You know, I just kind of stumbled on the video through my recommended section. Because of, you know, some of the stuff that I'm into, you know, like consciousness and how consciousness creates reality and not the other way around. That's totally what he believes, that 100%, that you know, kind of the idea that the whole universe is like a computer program, and we're like that we are a computer basically decodes reality. Like everything has a consciousness he's going into, even inanimate objects, but and like it's not like a consciousness like we think of it, you know, it's a different kind of consciousness, kind of like how I believe that the earth is a living entity, but like every kind of vibration of matter or frequency of matter or DNA, it all has its own way of decoding reality. Like a dog is a very conscious animal, but he goes into how a dog decodes reality in its own way, and it's probably a lot different than the way humans decode reality. He's showing how, you know, dogs are more passive, and they'll sit there in a relaxed state until something catches their attention, you know, and then they go out by their, you know, they have their sense of smell and everything, and all their senses that tells them what's real or, you know, reality is, and they decode it. But it's probably a lot different than the way we do. And like a big difference between humans and animals is that humans are a lot constantly thinking, you know, like our brains are connected back into that ether where the thoughts can come through our through our pineal glands, basically. Some might call it the subconscious, the mind's eye, all kinds of things, but it's all over religion, and there's all these pine cones and stuff, and religion and government. It's all, and it's showing how the pine cone represents the pineal gland. You know, yeah, I've gone into this before, but the way this guy explains it is really puts it right into focus. So it's like, you know, I'm thinking that my pineal gland is probably pretty calcified, because I remember when I was a kid, I used to have a lot more vivid dreams, a lot more wonderful, you know, what they call lucid dreams, or your astral plane dreaming. Remember that stuff? I could kind of recall that, but anymore, my dreams are like not pleasant, really. They're like more like a struggle, kind of like I'm struggling to. It's just like my mind is shut off from all that, you know. It's like I can only get a little bit of information through, because I got to decalcify myself, I think is what's going on. It is what he's talking about. If you want to truly tap into that, you have to decalcify your pineal gland, which is it's hard to do these days, because you got to have like pure water, you got to have pure food, you know, you got to have good organic food. You got to stay away from like starch and stuff like that, and a lot of chemicals. And so it's not easy for a lot of people. And also you got to get away from the frequencies of modern society that cloud out. They block us off from that. I think they tend to, all these frequencies around us tend to block us from our. Some people say you could like build a Faraday cage or whatever around your bed. Some people actually do that. They build a steel cage around their bed, and or copper, and it blocks out all the frequencies. Look at this bee. I'm gonna get a good shot of this bee close up.
it's kind of like he says that it's not that there's nothingness, it's like that there's no thingness. And we are just like the universe, we're just the consciousness of the universe experiencing itself subjectively, basically like Bill Hicks said. And you see what happened to him. I think they red-rummed him.
I like the way Bill Hicks said that, why don't you ever hear any good drug stories on the news? Like, today a kid on acid realized that the world is just an illusion and we are only the universe experiencing itself subjectively. And now here's Bill with the weather.